Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Just want to say thank you for the support on the channel, and thanks again for coming back and watching another video. So before we get into this, I just want to say a huge shout out and say thank you to Constricted and Addicted. He sent me this shirt, which is really awesome. I would be wearing it, but he has an awesome backing on it, and it would be difficult for me to show you guys what is actually on the back of it. So I'm not going to read it, but if you guys want to pause it and read what is on his t-shirt, it's pretty cool. He has some really awesome snakes. So you can find his YouTube channel and his Instagram. High quality boas and some really nice ball pythons as well. So again, I appreciate the support on the channel and for the t-shirts. So pretty much we're just going to go through and do a little bit of maintenance on the snakes in the 7030 rack from ARS, and just kind of watering and spot cleaning and just checking out the animals as is. So if you guys find that a little bit interesting, stick around, and we're definitely going to be seeing a lot of snakes. And then I got two ball pythons over here, and I'll explain why they're not over here as of yet. So I've only had this for about a month, and so far it's been really nice, and I got a shed in here, and it's been working out extremely well. And if you know how my past setup was, this is a million times better, and a million times easier to deal with than how I had it with like 15 of these tubs just laying around. I mean, I do have some tubs laying around now, but if you were on the channel watching at least 3 months ago, you saw how it was, and it worked. It worked. It was cheap. It was the basics, but the snakes were happy, and everything worked out on that. So we're just going to start off on this. So I have noticed, and it could be me, but I don't have any snakes on the bottom one right here yet, because still trying to figure out how I'm going to do this with the heat loss, since there's no panels on the bottom here. It just goes right through. So might get some styrofoam and put it on there for the winter time, so the heat doesn't or the cold from the ground doesn't hit the tubs. But as of right now, we're just going from the second level pretty much all the way to the top, but we'll see what goes on there. I did, since I've had this for about a month, I just replaced these cups. I got a huge box of these. I got like 500 of them, so putting 20 or so in here is not that big of a deal. And it says that it's microwave reheatable only. Not 100% sure what that means, but I am wondering if these can go in the dishwasher, because it'd be nice to rinse these through really fast and just keep using them over and over again. When the snakes do go in the water or try to get in the water for drinks, they do take some of this with them, so it leaves weird rings, coloration around it. Not a big deal, but it just looks nice when it's got brand new cups in there. But the one thing I am having a little bit of a difficulty with is keeping the humidity in here, even with the Repti chip. So the water is not that big. So I don't know if that has something to do with it. I don't know, because it is very dark back here. So the heat panels are here. They're slidable. So I'm wondering if you can slide them to the front, you can heat up the water a little bit. Maybe it'll help with the humidity. I'm not sure. I do keep the room at around 85-ish degrees. So it's not like they really need a hot spot. And the hot spot will come into play more when breeding and laying eggs. But we'll go ahead and we'll fill these up. And then on the spot cleaning, basically I'm just looking really fast to see if there's any poop or any pee in here. Sometimes I'll just run my hands through here, and I don't see anything in her. So this is a 2020 Orange Ghost Super Entry, and she looks really nice. Very bright. I like the colorations on her with the white sides and the brown, and then just very nice looking ball python. So I really wasn't that big of a fan of the ball pythons, but I'm getting more and more into them. I do love boas, so let's not get anything confused about that. The boas do have my heart, and they are probably my favorite species or type of snakes there is. So nothing really in here with her. Oh yeah, we got some pee in there, so we got some water, and then I don't think I'm gonna have enough water to go to the top. So this is the pastel 2020 as well, pastel clown. I weighed some of the females the other day on an empty stomach, and they're around 400 or 500 grams, which is fine for almost a year old. And then once we start hitting around that 1,000, we'll possibly try to pair some of these together, although I don't really have any males. So this year will be heavy, well, not too heavy, but kind of heavy on the males. I still want to get a couple females just so I have a handful of females that can go with some of the males. So that way, if I do want to start breeding, I can try to have at least 2 or 3 clutches. So this is 2020 Super Mojave, and she looks really good. Starting to get some of her color in on her sides, a little bit of yellow, and then the brown on top of her head. We have 2020 Black Pastel Pied, which every time I look at her, she has more and more of these black spots right here. And then so she can sometimes be a little bit of a little attitude problem, but definitely like her. And so ever since I've put the lighter color snakes in here, they can't dump the water like they were doing over there. So their scales are not faded out or turning brown or anything like that. So we have a female albino, not 100% sure, 2020 as well. Plans on her. I do have a male that we'll see later, 2020 male. So we might put them together, and we might try to get some hats out of them, or, you know, I saw the Enchi albinos, which are cool, and then I can always pair them together and make more. Did I fill hers up? Yeah. Talking, not really paying attention. So 2020 butter clown, or the lesser clown. The butter and the lessers are pretty much the exact same thing, just a different name. But she looks good, really good. I like her. If we can get over here, the little heart right there in the top of her head, and then I really like how it looks like it's paint dripping off of her. That's the one thing that I really do like about the clowns, on the colors and on the look of them. So 2014 pastel. She's a little small, on the smaller side, but she's well over 1,000 grams. And you know, I had no intentions of breeding at all. This was the very first ball python that I ever owned, and so there's really no reason to you know, feed her like she's a breeder. So I was just giving her the minimal amount of food, just because, you know, every 2 weeks or whatever, no issues. And then, oh yeah, we all know this girl. So 2021 VPI Aztec. So oh yeah, she's we're still in the bonding stages with her. So if I can catch her before I start messing around with the cages, I can pick her up for about 5 seconds, and then she figures out what's going on, and then she acts like that. But I have a bunch of ball pythons and boas kind of all jumbled together. I really don't have a good organization. It's not the greatest on here right now. So have a 2020 normal female pied. Nothing ridiculous going on with her. Let's add some water. And then I do see some poop in there. And again, I check these every day. So if I miss something, I'll see it tomorrow, stuff like that. So this is 2016 Suriname Redtail, and she's looking really good. And surprisingly, she fits very well in these tubs. Now, I know some of you guys are probably gonna throw a fit and call me a horrible snake keeper because I'm keeping boas in these 70-30s, especially a female. But she has a lot of room in here, and she's not cramped. She can stretch all the way out in here. And really nice tail on her. But obviously when she gets to be bigger, she'll go in those. And I need to get more of those for later. But 2015 male normal pied, the second ball python that I ever owned, and the third snake that I ever owned. So again, he's actually pretty big, I think, for being a male. I would say he's pretty big for a male. But he could be probably a lot bigger if in the beginning I wanted him to be a breeder, which, again, I never had any intentions for it. I am starting to get a little curious about breeding. Nothing ridiculous. And then in here we have 2020 IMG Motley Hypo Jungle, which is 100% het for snow. And she looks really good. Definitely putting on some really good size. Nice, really nice iridescence on her for being really dark. So definitely a lot darker than when I got her at the beginning of the year. So really excited about that. And we have a 2020 male snow, which is awesome. Love to see him breed with the IMG down there. We're back, so we're still on the male snow, and he is getting some really nice size on him. And as he grows up, he'll change colors into a very, very bright yellow, and then his tail will get pretty white. So really cool to see him grow up as well. Moving down the row, 2020 IMG Motley, and this one's only a couple of months, so the colors still need time to change on him. Since it is IMG, it does increase the darkness of the snake, so every shed and every time it grows, it should get darker and darker. And I've seen some change very almost jet black within the first 6 months, and then I've seen some take almost a year to change. So it's interesting how each snake is different on changing the colors. And then we have the 2021 IMG VPI, because this girl is gorgeous, and she's been kind of throwing some fits lately. So this is the sister and I think littermate of the IMG, or I'm sorry, the VPI Aztec. So definitely a huge difference in attitudes on both of those girls. So beautiful snakes. And then here's the male regular albino. So I wouldn't mind putting a male with one of the pieds, and then to see what would happen, or put the albino to albino, or who knows what could happen. I might get an albino Enchi or something and then make those, because I like those look really cool. But as the time gets closer and closer, I'm probably going to put out like questionnaires or polls or something just to see what you guys would want to see as breeding combinations and stuff like that. And this girl right here is a Hypo Jungle Pastel, and she is, as we can see, she's in shed, which is very exciting. She's 2019, so she's on adult mice or rat pups, and it's really nice to see that she's growing, because as you can see, she's a lot smaller than some of the 2020s, probably even some of the 2021s. So I do have a tendency of feeding my snakes a little less than most people, smaller meals. So they're not, the growth rate is a lot different than what most people are used to seeing on some of the boas. So I've been told A lot of my snakes are pretty small, pretty thin, but again, I don't want to have massively large obese snakes super fast. I mean, they'll grow when they need to, and they'll get bigger as time goes on. I just want them to be healthy. So we'll get her out of the direct sunlight. So this is Moonglow, 2020, and she looks really good. She's definitely getting a lot bigger. So as you can see, 2020, she's a lot bigger than the 2019, but you know, as a baby, this one was probably fed larger meals, and obviously I was feeding this one too small, but in the end, it all works out. And up here, and this is where the light's not going to be that great, so we'll take some snakes down, but we have the Guyana Red Tail, and this girl is really, really nice looking. I love her tail. Bright red tail on her. Get her over here in the lights. And 2017, so she's a really small grower. I don't know how she's going to end up as an adult, because when I first got her, she was regurgitating and she almost died, but she just magically started eating very well at one point on her own, and she's been great ever since. So it does take the true red tails a while to grow, but she's taking forever for being a 2017. But she's on wrap pups and she's eating no problem. So I mean, it's basically going to be on her own to get to whatever size she needs to be. And I'm not going to force her to eat twice a week or anything like that, because that's just a lot of strain on boas. And then the last snake in the rack is a 2020 Banana Clown, and he is all the way in the back. So he looks really good. I could pair him with the lesser or the pastel just to see what would happen. But I really like the colors on him. And then when they're born, their colors are super, super vibrant. A lot of purples on them as well when they're born. We can see some of the purples on him now, but it's nothing like what he was as a baby. And as we all know, almost every single ball python fades their colors out when they get older. So it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Unless you have, I mean, there are some genes that you can mix in with them that keep the brightness going, and the colorations and the patterns nice and bright as they get older. But I don't know that much about combinations, so I think fire is one of them, but I'm sure there's a few more. So the two snakes that were over here, we'll go ahead and look at them. Since they are pretty much brand new babies, they're just in these tubs. I think they'd be fine up there with hides, but they've been eating perfectly fine down here. They are only a couple months old and they are on wrap pups, so that is perfect because I don't need to worry about trying to switch them over from mice to rats. They're already on rats, so that makes my life a whole lot easier. So this is a Inchy yellow belly fire pied female, and I could just get a killer male for this, and I mean, we can make some crazy combos. So very excited to have her. And I'd say she's a medium white pied, which is cool because, I mean, I really like the designs and the colors in that one. And this one I'm very excited about as well. This is a Superfly Clown, and then the Superfly is the Super Pastel Fire Clown. So this girl is wild looking. She just came out of a shed not too long ago, so her colors are super, super bright, very bright yellow. I love the pattern on her. So I have no idea what to put with her, but the only thing that I know is if you put fire and fire together, make the super fire, it turns into an all white snake, which is cool. But if it has a lot of other stuff in it, you won't see it since it is a pure white snake. So if it comes out as a Superfly Clown, it would just be a solid white snake. And the only problem with that is if you don't trust the breeder, or if you don't know what the pairing is, you're just looking at an all white snake. So you have to trust the person that's selling it to know that there's other combos in that snake that you just can't see. So it gets a little dicey on buying snakes that from somebody random on the internet, because you can get an all white snake for $400 as a blue-eyed Lucy, or you can spend $2,000 on a Superfly Clown. They're both white, but again, making all white snakes is difficult to sell. They do sell because they're awesome looking and they have their powerhouse. If it has the good combos, like a Superfly, I don't know, Superfly Clown, if something else is added to it, like I said, you won't be able to see it. But so trying to stay away from the fire on fire stuff, because obviously I'm a nobody. And if I just set up and I try to sell pure white snakes, somebody has to trust me and know who I am and know the pairings. And I can put pictures up and stuff like that. But it gets a little crazy, and I might be stuck with a whole bunch of white snakes, which would be cool. But if your whole process is as business, it could hurt you. Obviously, big names like Kabolka has Superfly stuff and he sells them all day because everybody knows him and he's not going to cheat anybody out. But so it's a super long video. I'm still waiting for Pop-Tart to shed. She's been in deep blue for like almost a week, which is ridiculous. So that's going to be a massive growth spurt for her. And she should be shedding out any day now. I mean, I got a bunch of other stuff that I want to talk about that's going in the room, but we're already taking forever on this video. So again, I appreciate everybody watching the video. Sorry this is forever long, but you know, it's just basic maintenance, and I didn't even do the other half of the snake. So hopefully you guys have an awesome day. And again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video.